Good evening, degenerates. How are we this fine March the 26th? It's been a glorious day so far. Windy as hell. We're just having a good old time here, just trying to stay bolted down. Yeah. People wonder why I wear this. I, I don't know if you can hear it, but you got to have something noise canceling. It's like if I just had a boom mic here, uh, there it would pick up everything. I've got an air conditioner running. I live in the middle of nowhere. There's farm implements rolling by and all kinds of stuff. It is what it is. So, whilst I wait to see if anybody joins, I can get some this day in history, March 26th historical events, just to see if we can get something going here. So, 1979. You know what? I should have these in order by year. Let me reorder these. Let me reorder these events because you know what? Sometimes it's just not so much. Yeah, because nobody cares about Pope, Conrad II being crowned a Holy Roman. This could be one of those days. In 1812, today, a huge earthquake, they estimated it 7.7 to 8.0 magnitude, struck Caracas, Venezuela, killing an estimated 15 to 20,000 people. That's it's a big earthquake. Um, One of the deadliest quakes in South American history. I can imagine that sucked. I don't think that even really encompasses the suckitude. Oh God, especially in those days. No, I mean, there's what do you do? In 1872, Thomas J. Martin patented an early version of the fire extinguisher in the United States. That's that's pretty cool. Um, let me. I don't think that. Man, there's never telling you never know what's going on around here. Uh, Come on, operate you. I have to get on my phone. Update. I forgot to tell family members I'm streaming. This is just as interrupting. But it's better that they don't just walk off in here. I mean, it happens. Yeah, whatever you're gonna do. But when they open the door to this building, it floods with light and throws everything all off. And my lighting's bad enough as it is. Let's see. 1945, the Battle of Iwo Jima officially ended as U.S. forces declared the Pacific Islands secure. That's the one with the flag, you know. Brandon was there. You know he was. 1953, Dr. Jonas Salk announced the successful development and testing of the polio vaccine. That was a big deal. 1971, leaders of the Awami League declared the independence of Bangladesh from Pakistan. Okay. In 1975, the Biological Weapons Convention entered into force. It was an international treaty prohibiting the development, production, and stockpiling of biological and toxic weapons and has been ratified by most countries. And yet, COVID still happened. I wonder what that is. Anyway, 1979, the Egypt-Israel peace treaty was signed at the White House by Egyptian President Anwar Sadat. And I am not even going to try to pronounce the Israeli Prime Minister's name. Hmm, that's interesting. Jimmy Carter. Let's see. 1995, the Shenzhen Agreement took effect. And this is an interesting thing. It stopped routine border checks between participating European countries and establishing the Shenzhen area. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. But that's interesting. So people essentially travel from one country to the next in Europe, just like we do state to state here. Okay. You know what? It's probably part of the reason why you are like you are now. So you know what? Don't have open borders. It's stupid. And in 2000, this day, Vladimir Putin was elected president of Russia for the first time, marking the start of his long-standing influence in Russian politics after the post-Soviet transition period. Yeah, that's a long time. So, yeah, I got people spamming my comments in Kick here. Interestingly enough, let's see what this does. Yeah, they're just wanting me to use some service to get more viewers on. I don't give a shit. If I gave a shit about viewers, good. You have no idea. I sit here and talk to myself for an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's no big deal. Yelling into the void is my pastime. Do it for the lulz. I'm gonna sit out here and smoke the cigar anyway, so what difference does it make? None at all. So I had an interesting develop. You guys all know that um, I made a JD Delay episode of Forced Valor. Uh, so let me get down here. So my browser's being a pain in the buttocks, but right here in this black spot, there it goes. So there's the episode 49, the Derna Delay, and this came out. Well, it wasn't March 13th. Yeah, it was March 13th, right around that age, because I wrote the story and then actually created the video in the same week. Well, JD Delay has discovered said video. If you look right here in the comments, holy shit, here we go, Mr. Delay himself. Oh yeah, fun times. But you know what? The people asked for it. That's what I said. You know, the fans asked for this. We put a survey out. Uh, again, I'm a member of royalty now. I guess, but put a survey out. People voted for it. This is what they wanted. I had to give it to them. May not have been exactly what they were envisioning. Whatever, makes me no difference. I got a huge kick out of making it. 258 views in 12 days. It's really not that. I don't know. I don't see JD Delay promoting that in any way, shape, or form. It is. It's just for the fun. Um, so you know, sometimes you do things just because you have to, right? You just gotta do stuff. Because if you don't, it'll drive you insane. Um, so there will be a this weekend. It technically isn't the first of the month this weekend, but it's close enough. And because I'm not sure exactly when the first hops over, but let's let's go look at this. Today's the 20. Good. Can't operate a Saturday. Can't operate. So it's like Wednesday is the first. I'm not gonna wait until next weekend. I've got a really busy week next week. So what I think I'm going to do, because it'll technically be after the first when I do the drawing, I think I'm going to go ahead and post up the April contest or drawing for the merch store this weekend, this Saturday. So go ahead and let that run. Hopefully I get the rules right this time. This time I left one of the steps out. So, oh well. But yeah, the essentially it'll be a you have to follow Forced Valor. You have to follow my main X account, and then I would prefer a quote repost of the original post, um, and comment and like. It's not hard. It's just I mean it's a few steps. Um, Anybody who's already following me and or also the Forced Valor X account, yeah, most of the people that win these things already were followers, so it's not like it's a big deal, right? So, but those rules will be in the post. I'm going to do my best to write that in a way that doesn't use up every bit of space. Um, but you know, maybe I'll use AI to write it in a way that's concise and clear, but doesn't require 500 characters to do it. Tell you what, anybody, I don't know why you would be following me on X. At, go over to YouTube and check out my personal channel. All right, there's only 111 people there. Be nice to have more than 500. I don't expect to get monetized on that platform anytime. Uh, Kick is brand new, um, and yeah, so nobody paying attention on X. At least not right at the moment. Let's see. I'm not going to sit here and sing. Um, Dead air. Have you guys seen all of the damn meteors? What? I'd love to hear what everybody thinks that's about. There's people saying that that it's caused by the what was it the Starlink satellites, which they're if you look at some of them that have been shown, um, yeah, it's a piece of rock or space. It's not space debris from a satellite. Mm. Okay, so the Memphis Flyer has reported that an AI police reporting software went rogue and said that the body cam software mistakenly described an officer as having shapeshifted into a frog because the movie The Princess and the Frog was playing in the background during the incident to which the officer was responding. It's funny. So now they're having to tobacco on my lip. They're having to double check all that stuff because you know what? Look, AI is a great tool. It's a help. It's helpful, but you can't just expect it to be. Anytime I've just assumed that everything was fine has been a complete and total nightmare. You can't just make the assumption that it's correct and everything it's done is good. It needs human oversight. Just allowing AI. Okay, so this is interesting. We've already heard about the red fox, right? We've already heard about the fox that stowed away and went across the Atlantic and ended up in a zoo, the Bronx Zoo, right? I think this is all stuff that's happened this month, is what I've gotten here. So a viral totally unrelated to the fox. I've moved on. A viral social media phenomenon has young people in Argentina identifying as therians, essentially claiming they're animals in human bodies. The trend, fueled by TikTok, has sparked widespread discussion and confusion. Look, there are some ways that you can fix this, right? Treat them like animals, right? You it's amazing that these people all clothe themselves and you know they don't they don't live like the animals they say they are. You have people that pretend they're a dog or a cat or something. It's like, no, 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 no. You should be naked because cats and dogs, they don't clothe themselves. They don't wear shoes. People could put clothes on a dog, but a dog doesn't clothe itself, right? Doesn't do that. Neither does a cat. No, there's the only maybe you know great apes and things of that sort could probably clothe itself. Now there may be a dog, maybe someplace that could figure out how to put on an outfit. And yes, they will leave it on usually if you train them to do so, but they don't clothe themselves. So you got somebody who's pretending to be a swine or something. It's just all right. Yeah. Why are you wearing clothes? If you put clothes on yourself, you're obviously not an animal. Just call their bluff. Call their bluff. That's what I'm saying. It's like take get naked, go out in the yard, and live out there. You're an outside dog now. We don't have dogs, we don't have dogs crapping in the floor in the house. You're an outside dog. Don't. People are stupid. I didn't know this was a thing. So in Annapolis, Maryland, locals gathered to ceremonially, that's a hard word to say, ceremonially burn their winter socks while reciting poetry marking the unofficial start of the Chesapeake Bay sailing season. Okay, do whatever. Uh, in London, animal rescuers dealt with a squirrel that appeared to have been exposed to vaping. I don't know how they imagined that to be the case. Um, but okay. So shoppers in an Australian airport gift shop were startled when a live possum blended in perfectly with the stuffed animal display. And apparently its moving eyes gave it away. Yeah, this is the possum was watching ET and learned a lot. Yeah, that's what it is. That's a deep cut for you, right? See, in Chicago, multiple autonomous delivery robots have collided with bus shelters in quick succession, with one incident captured on video. It's raising eyebrows about the growing fleet of sidewalk bots. Why aren't those things being forced to work on the roadways? You're not supposed to ride bicycles on sidewalks. Why are they allowing these autonomous delivery things to? And I can't believe they're not knocked over and stuff stolen out of them every time you turn around. Um, Apparently, there's a new visible sunspot region AR 4403, and it erupted with a solar flare on March 26th today, causing a minor radio blackout and potentially stirring up geomagnetic activity and auroras. I don't I don't know about. I wonder if it's going to be another one of those things where we have the aurora and it's all the way down to like halfway across the country. Been having a lot of that. That's interesting. Maybe it'll blow up and take us all out, and we won't have to worry about all the stupid stuff anymore. Rescuers are racing to save a humpback whale beached on a Baltic seashore in Germany. That's interesting. I always wondered how that happens if they get confused about which way's which. Just weird. They probably ate something and got drunk. Forest bathing. People are turning to Shinrin Yoku, immersive time in nature, to combat anxiety, with reports of it gaining popular. People are going hiking, but now they're calling it forest bathing. People are going out in nature, spending time in nature, like hiking and stuff and chilling out. I heard it called an awe walk. I think AWE awe. You just take you don't take pictures with your phone. That's it. You don't use your phone. You go out on a hike or a walk in nature and stand in awe of its magnificence. You know what? People have been doing this a long time. I don't understand why suddenly a new this is newsworthy that people are going out into nature and finding that it really reduces stress, things of that nature. I used nature twice in that. That's interesting, but yeah. Oh, that's nice. I jacked up my browser. Yeah. All my regulars aren't here. Check my announcements and make sure that that went off like it was supposed to. Yeah, it did. Yeah, everybody must be busy. Not entirely certain that this is the best day of the week to do this. I know that Friday nights are pretty busy for a lot of people, but I don't know. Let's ping the whole server. See if we can get a reply. We've got some people that are around. Send out the clarion call. Maybe we'll get somebody to join in and give me something to do, like talk to. I may spend some time tomorrow night doing a space with Red Pill Phil. He sent something to me. I forget what. I really got to get a better camera. This the color balance thing. I look really good in red now, but it as I change, it's like this this light thing is jacking up. Look at that. Look how washed out that is. I really need to get that fixed. I need a better camera, is what it is. There's Ash. See, I knew if I sent out a ping, somebody would reply. Ash, how is the lag to tonight? Not really doing much on upload speed. I'm doing about 2.73, something like that. It's not really taking up a lot of bandwidth. Had a technical issue. This is a good question for Ash. So I've found that I work in technology, and I have the worst luck when it comes to stuff like technological stuff. I mean, I'm all the time having some sort of technical difficulties. I can't. It's just always something. It doesn't just one thing after. I had to have the ISP replace the modem in my house, which everything's tied to, and which ended up causing me to have to replace my router. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. So now I have to. I don't know if I have time. I've got to travel for a little bit, and I don't have time to get something in here to fix this stupid thing. Oh, it's to pay. But Ash, given the field that you're in, do you have problems mechanically? Do you have like constant issues with like vehicles and stuff? Because that seems to be the case. I just like you have some beat up piece of crap that never runs right, and you just don't have time to screw with it. Because this is what the thing. You work in a field of technology, you just don't want to screw with it. You don't. You don't want to. You don't want to spend time messing with the damn things. You work in that field. You do that stuff all day, and man, the wind is kicking ass outside. It's like banging the door on my building. It's crazy. But do you have shoot me a comment in there, man. Tell me, do you have problems with your oh tag J tag? Look, we got people joining. You know what's interesting is some of this stuff does not update like it's supposed to. Um, what? Uh, they're worse, so they're all junk. Yeah, the vehicles are always junk. That's not what I mean. What I mean is your personal vehicles. Are they junk? right? Is that what the case is? Or do you have, are you one of those guys because you work on vehicles, yours is pristine and perfect and never has any problems? Because you usually see it's one or the other. Um, I don't, I'm always having to screw around with something around here. I've got ungodly amounts of uh, technology doing stuff. Everything I have is somehow or another connected to the internet. It's just that's just the way I am. I've got, you know, IoT devices doing all kinds of everything, and they're running. Well, sometimes that's all you can ask. And Jay, I'm sorry that you. I hope you don't have to work on those. The large fleet of Silverado HDs and Colorados. Are they all diesel too? Because nothing like a Duramax. Ugh. I don't. I don't really. I mean, this is just me personally, but I don't really get the you know V8 diesel thing. I personally think diesel should be inline. I'm a Cummins guy, so I like an inline six or something like that. But man, somebody get Eli Cuevas to give me a recommendation on a camera that's not going to cost me a fortune, and I can just stick up here and it works, and I don't have to fuck with it all the time. Uh, this is the most annoying part of doing this is, well, maybe not the most annoying part, but it is the current most annoying part is, yeah, but nobody needs speed, Ash. If you're hauling, you don't need speed, man. We're not racing these things. You pulling stuff. Yeah, well, you don't need speed. You do not have the need for speed. At some point, I may very well have to figure out how to get the chat up here on the screen so that I don't have to repeat the things that you guys say because we've got, well, right now everybody's in X, so you guys can all see your comments together. But we get anybody in another, uh, if we get anybody in it from another platform in here, um, yeah. What's the heaviest thing you haul with that thing, Ash? I think the heaviest thing that I've pulled with my 3500, I went and um, went up to my parents' place. They've got a quarry up there, and I got, I think, right around 12,000 pounds of gravel. You're the heaviest thing you've had to haul. Um, well, then I think you've probably got it handled. Uh, yeah, luckily my ass is not the heaviest thing I've had to haul. I've got a pretty good size, like I've got a 31-foot camper, and that thing's dry weight is like 8,000 pounds, and so I don't even know what it is loaded down. I've never actually weighed it. Hauled a horse trailer. Horse trailers aren't really all that. I mean, if you get one of the ones that has like the living space in the front, you have tanks and whatnot for water. Those can get heavy. I don't recommend filling them up all the way unless you're going someplace where you don't have any water. I mean, you don't want to fill up your black tank all the way and your gray tank all the way. We're going to start a whole thing on RVing and all that stuff. So here's something I'll go down a rabbit hole on because I this is things that I've things that I've learned: buy good tires first of all. Don't buy the China bombs, right? Get good tires. There's the two things in the world that people cheap out on that I don't understand, and I've learned this the hard way, right? Is cheap tires and cheap batteries. I mean, I understand if you don't have an opportunity, you got to have a tire and you got to get something cheap because that's all you can get. That's okay, whatever. I had uh, bought, you know, Chinese tires for my camper, and I've had three blowouts. Um, the tread, I just come apart, and I'm not talking about like I'm driving 900 miles an hour and the things pop, right? No, no, just going down the interstate or going down the highway, and they just explode. And of course, all the steel belts just grab hold of everything and rip everything apart. It sucks. I went and bought some good years. I spent some money on them. Good tires. They're rated for like 80 miles an hour, which is way faster than I'm ever going to pull a 40-foot camper or 31-foot camper. I'm rounding up really bad, but I'm not going to be pulling that thing that fast. I mean, I'll go down the interstate at speed, but yeah. Well, you would know of all people that trailer tires have a rough life, especially when people don't own them. So that's the problem is like rental cars and trailers are like when you're not the owner, people don't take care of crap when it's not theirs. They don't care, especially if they don't have to pay for the repairs. Another thing that I was told once about RVing, I was like, "Oh, get the 20-pound tanks like you get on your grill. You can exchange those anywhere. You'll never be out of propane. You just exchange them. You don't have to go get. You know what? That's the stupidest thing I've ever been told. I should have never listened, but this person I was listening to had been doing like RV life things, and oh my, man. Anyway, I'll tell you what. It's like get a 30-pounder. Get 30 pound a set of 30-pound tanks is. I mean, I end up in the I end up in my trailer a lot in the winter time, and so I do end up. What I do is because my trailer's stationary most of the winter, because that's where what I essentially use for my hunting uh, lodge, camper, or cabin or whatever. Um, I end up getting a 100-pound tank filled, and I just set it there, and I don't have to worry about anybody messing with my stuff because that's where my parents live, and they can see my camper from their house. But a 20-pound tank in the wintertime, when it gets cold, like below freezing, will blow. It'll go through that fast. But yeah, you don't. Yeah, yeah. So there are a number of places near where they live, and it's like we've got a Tractor Supply here that'll refill them. I think it's like 3.39 a gallon for propane. Of course, everything's going up with because yeah, I honestly don't think that the gas prices and all that stuff has a damn bit of anything to do with anything other than they can. That's what the reason it prices are going up is because they can. Um, you have any kind of conflict happen in the world, gas prices go up immediately the next day, and there's no way that the supply and demand has been affected at that point. I mean, it's like, I mean, immediately. And so, but yeah, 30-pound tanks. Yes, but see, what you do is you have two tanks there, right? And you have a third tank's worth of capacity if you were buying 20s. So yeah, people do panic buy and drive prices up. People are stupid. The panicking, man, it's one of my least favorite things about human beings is that they're not very bright and they tend to panic uh, when they ought not to. And I mean, I guess I understand that people who live in large cities and don't actually know their neighbors or don't have access to anything without some sort of major infrastructure. I guess I can see that. But there's a reason I don't live in a big city, is because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with all that garbage. It's like there's only what, like, COVID taught us some interesting lessons. There's only about 3 days of food in the supply chain, right, or in transit at any given time. It's like there's about 3 days of food for people. When people buy up everything in the grocery stores, and then if the trucks aren't running, everything goes away. And after, when you get people who live hand to mouth, and especially folks that are dependent on the government for their supplies, you they, they don't people don't plan ahead at all. And when somebody's baby's crying because they don't have milk, then they want to come and take your stuff. Oh, I honestly don't understand how people can live in a big city. It doesn't make any sense to me. I know people who get like all twitchy when they're alone, and I don't get that. It's like I was on a business trip once with a coworker of mine, and we were driving down the interstate. Up on the side of this mountain, right? We could see this house all by itself on the side of the mountain. Had a beautiful view of a valley. There were no houses around it, far as you could see. As far as I could tell, they were the only ones up there. Now, I was like, I pointed up at that house and I was like, that's my dream, is to live in a place like that. I don't have any neighbors. I'm all by myself. It's just me and my family. We don't have to worry about anybody else. You don't have any HOAs or any of that crap. And his response to me was, that is my absolute worst nightmare. Not having other people around. And I was like, wow, I it's one of those things about projection, is you don't really you don't realize you're doing it most of the time. You project your own opinions and thoughts and feelings on other people constantly. Most people do it all the time. And it's a subconscious kind of thing, that it's the same thing that feeds into confirmation bias, right? You just look for people to agree with you, and you'll hear things or see things or read things that reinforce the way that you feel, or what you want, the opinion you want to hear. And you add in a little cognitive dissonance, and there you go. You got whole movements there. So people will just absolutely reject reality and follow whatever they've made up their mind is supposed to be the way it is. But anyway, that I couldn't. I mean, I've got neighbors. I live out in the country. I've got neighbors, and but I don't know. The test for me was always one of those: if you can run around in your yard naked and nobody can see you that you're not related to, there you go. Not that I'll do that. Not in the daytime anyway. Nobody wants my pasty tail getting sunburnt, or I don't anyway. But yeah, supply and demand's an interesting thing. You know, demand goes up, and if supply doesn't go up to meet it, then prices go. I mean, but let's see. Ash, Jay, you guys see that the JD delay? I was talking about this before you joined. That JD delay had found he'd found the YouTube video and the TikTok short for it. That's funny stuff. I it always warms my heart when when I get a little reaction out of somebody that I've done something with. Yeah, it's hilarious. If you know what, if you have some time, you should go and interact with his comment on the on YouTube. Um, so, there's somebody had thanked him for his service on TikTok, but yeah, go go interact with his post with his comment on YouTube. That's funny. Oh, let's see. What have I? Yeah, the uh, the post that he's never going to recover from this. You know, um, I don't know. I'm sure that that it'll die down eventually. But you know, like I said, it's going on now and it's funny. And the fact that he's reacting to it, that's the fun part. I mean, I have never once gotten a reaction out of Brandon Herrera over any of the things that I've ever done, other than in person. Not one time. As far as I can recall, I've never had him say anything about that. You know, at least in a public space. I had a brief mention on kind of consensual. Um, I don't know. It was fairly early on, I think, about the website. Um, I don't. You know what? I could probably bring that up. I don't know how many people have gotten to see that. Let's see. Is that this one? Let's see. No, it's not this one. Is it? Yeah, it is. All right. So I'm I'm gonna I've got it queued up, and this is only like it's like maybe a couple seconds. So hopefully you guys can hear this. But
Two stories. No, you can keep scrolling on that
oh, you
page.
can't.
There's
You
like
can hear
30
it though.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on.
And then if we get him his lieutenant colonel, I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
but
so
see,
happy. Or Marshal V, I'm gonna do all this and then do the first Halo
hold
jump.
on.
Period. What? And
Eli's
then
talking.
fight until he's like what, 60 or 70 years old, Nick?
He was 71 in
I think I went
Afghanistan,
back too far.
like 2 weeks after 9/11,
But
hunting Osama bin
there are
Laden
digital rights. You know,
That's
at
bro.
71 years old. He
I don't need to
he
show the video.
fought in Tora Bora.
Both times.
Holy- Did you see the
There it is.
Oh dang it. It was just right there in my the website that somebody built for Brandon.
Yeah, Forced
Yes.
Valor.
Bro, what the? And I thought it was going to be like two stories. No, you can keep scrolling on that page.
There's like 30 stories.
Yeah.
And
And then if we get him
See,
his
that was it.
lieutenant colonel, I'm going to be so happy.
but yeah, oh, that was I remember the people in the Discord went nuts when that episode came out. They were hit me up left and right, telling me that I'd gotten a mention. It's like it, and of course that's behind a paywall. So, and I don't mind not showing the video part of this because they've got digital, you know, they've got their man. I cannot remember what that is. I keep wanting to call it DRS. Maybe that's right. I don't know. You know, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But they've got this so you can't stream their stuff, right? And but you can hear it, so that's all that matters. And so, but yeah, I've got a couple of things, you know, like the shoes thing is one of those things that hold on. I can do the react on this one. But yeah, we're Eli.
Just a big shout out for JD the bot guy for being the highest bidder on the communism shoes. Dude,
Yeah,
shout out to you, brother. We hope you enjoy them.
yeah,
Big shout out to each and every one, and
the shoes.
congratulations to the winners.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple of those little moments. My yeah, Google went nuts trying to figure out. Everybody was like, "Who is this guy?" But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's funny. Of course, nobody really knows who I am, so I run into I don't run into people that like know who I am by sight. Um, but who I when I tell people, there are a few people that are like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of that." Now I don't know if it's they've heard of it or they've heard about the unsub stuff where they're doing the same. It's the same phrase, but uh, but yeah, I don't know. I've got I've got some. I don't know if I've got. I haven't had a new merch release yet. Hold on a second. Let me go in here and I will show you guys this and get your honest opinion on it because I've coined a new thing. And you may see some excuse me. You may see some interesting things come of this. Yeah, I haven't decided yet if this design is actually what I want to do yet. Um, but let's see. Want to have to do a little bit of finagling here to generate a mock-up for this real quick, like so I can show it to you guys. Um, golly, this is so slow. I wasn't prepared to do this, so bear with me. Try not to burn myself here. All right, where is? All right. So anybody who's been in the Discord has seen the Purple Heart medal that I. So anybody who doesn't know the Purple Heart is if you're an American, you don't know what this is. Holy shit, you eject yourself. But any any member of the armed forces who is wounded in combat receives a Purple Heart. It's a medal that George Washington actually came up with, which is why I guess it's got his face on it. So you let, let me let me get that. Let me do this first. So let's get let's get it. Let's bring this up. Come on. Oh Lord. So here you go. So this is a Purple Heart, right? It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Uh, got George Washington's bust on it. There you go. And I came up with one, and I've can't call it a Purple Heart, of course, but I've coined a new phrase, and lo and behold, I give you the violet ventricle. Ah, yeah. So this has got Brandon's face on it. Look at that. in all its glory. So you may or may not see this around in a place or two, but there's a new T-shirt that I'm messing with. I'm not 100% sure if uh, if that's the design that I want to stick with. I'm not the but I that phrase, I've got a I'm trademarking that because I've never seen it anywhere else. The violet ventricle. Ash, Jay, if you're still here, putting up with my shenanigans and tomfoolery, what do you think of that? Yeah, think that's any good? I've actually got some different ideas about maybe curving the text around it and doing something, but I don't know. We'll see. I've got one that came in. I'm not 100% just sold on that because I always have to check out all the designs before I'll actually put them out on the website. So this isn't available for purchase anywhere. But so anybody sees this, leave a comment. I'd be curious to see if anybody thinks that that's a winning design or not. I sell next to no merch. I just keep telling myself it's because nobody really knows about it. Maybe what we need is some people to panic buy. Yeah, that would be fun. Oh, Lord. Man, there was something else I was going to bring up a minute ago, and I got sidetracked. I'm sure that everybody has seen. By the way, did you guys realize that yesterday was Medal of Honor Day? So make sure everybody goes out. Uh, thank Brandon for his service on was National Medal of Honor Day yesterday. So, um, Lord of mercy, where did that go? I have completely lost that post. Oh, yeah, well, first of all, uh, shout out to Rackham's Roughnecks. Look at it. Yes, I'm on a Mac, so there's a tendency to make the you wiggle the it tells you where your cursor. I do that a lot because I've been using these things forever. You lose your cursor when you have enough screens. But there's our winner from last month, wearing the same shirt I'm wearing right now, as a matter of fact. So um, all the way from New Zealand. So there you go. That I was more than happy. It didn't really cost that much, and so let's see. And thanks for the vote of confidence there, Jack. I don't know where that. I wonder if that post got killed that I was going to reference. It was a repost and it's gone now. I hate it when that happens. Oh well, could be worse. We got PNW. The Pacific Northwest Gorilla is currently doing a live stream. I always end up doing these things at the same time uh, as folks with a touch more following than I have. It's funny. I love it's cute little comparisons. If you look up here in the top right corner, he's got 301 to my paltry little 7, and those numbers don't necessarily mean how many people are watching right now. It's how many people have gone in and stayed for a second. If they click the link, it counts them. Um, I have one like spammer on Kick that's watching, and that's essentially it. But I don't know that I'm going to expand to Rumble, uh, because I'm using that to put the Forced Valor radio episodes there as well. I like to hedge my bets. Oh, Jay, thank you for your vote of confidence. Also, I saw your comment there. Ash has gone to sleep, or he's gone to the gym. I haven't seen a post about it. Do you go to the gym today, Ash, or are you doing this instead? But yeah, well, oh no, 9 minutes ago, you're just trolling the internet, is what you're doing. It's like see that you're commenting. Oh look, yep. So one of the things I do is like I don't put my shorts. Still here, getting over a sickness, going to go tomorrow. Good. I didn't. I wasn't. So I go to the gym. We have a gym at work, and I go to the gym at work. And I did leg day yesterday, and today is not the day. But I will suffer tomorrow. I will be going tomorrow. I do a 4-day program, and generally speaking, I don't normally do legs on Wednesdays. I usually do those on Thursdays, but because I knew I was going to be out, I did legs. I was out today for some personal stuff, and nothing bad. So, but did legs yesterday because I had opportunity to go to a different location, and their equipment is better. So, if you've ever used a Rogue Rhino, I oh, so if you get it's a belt squat machine is essentially what it is. Um, but I'm a huge um, I'm a huge fan of the that is not at all what I was looking for. Let's try this again. Rogue Rhino belt squat. I'm trying to find a picture of this. Okay, yeah. So here we go. This thing is phenomenal. You put this belt on, and there's a cable that goes down and across and then up, right? And it comes out the top up here and hooks up to this sled that you load weights on. And I've had back surgery before, right? And so you can see from this image right here, there's no back loading. You don't load up at all. And yeah, they're expensive, but I didn't pay for the damn thing. I just go to a place that has one, and love it. Love that thing. It is the greatest thing in the world. I don't do traditional squats because, again, I said I had back surgery. When I was 35, many years ago, I got I was driving, and there was a big building, and the sun. I got around this building, the sun hit me directly in the eyes, and I sneezed. I know a lot of people do that. You get bright lights in your eyes and you sneeze. It's a thing. But we had a huge ice storm. I went to my father-in-law's place, and I'd been running a chainsaw all day, cutting trees up and limbs and hauling them off and doing a bunch of heavy lifting and stuff. And then the next day, and I was a little sore, and it wasn't a big deal. And when that sunlight hit me, I sneezed, and I didn't know it at the time, but I blew out my L5S1 disc. So L5S1 is the disc between your pelvis and your first vertebrae, and that thing popped on the inside of my spinal in the canal that my spinal cord runs through, and it was pushing up against my spinal cord. And I walked around all gimped up and messed up for a month before I finally I didn't realize what it was. And being a guy, it's like I'm not going to the doctor unless I absolutely just I'm dying. And I was going to a physical therapist. We had a PT available to us, and he was trying to he thought it was a just something else. So went through a lot of PT, some spinal decompression, a bunch of other stuff. And one day I woke up and half of my right foot was numb. I was like, couldn't feel it. Went in and told him, he's like, oh, let's go to see the doc. Let's get you for a CT. Uh, and they took me in and did one. And the doctor's like, we've got to get you into surgery right now. Um, the when I went in there, the people that did the scan were like, we saw you walk in here. If we hadn't seen you walk in, we would have expected you to be completely, you know, it would have thought you were in a wheelchair because they didn't expect anybody to um, be able to walk around with something like that. So they got me into surgery. Kind of, it was not an emergency because it wasn't life threatening, but it was horrible. Um, and the day after I had the surgery done, I still had, I had a. They did it laparoscopically. My surgeon he was just great. Did it, cut a hole about this long. Went in, drilled a hole inside my vertebra. Went in, grabbed all that junk and pulled it out. And I went home. And the amount of pain that I was in prior to the surgery, I had gotten so used to that level of pain that I didn't need pain meds after. I was walking around with an open incision because they left it open, just like put one little stitch in there, but so it could kind of like weep and stuff. Doesn't have any tubes or anything, but didn't feel a thing. And my level of my pain tolerance is stupid high now because of the level of pain that I had to go through with all that stuff. I've never gone back. It's weird. I'll give you an example. And yeah, you guys can take a drink now because I've let my cigar go out. Wait, preemptive drink. So I had kidney stones a few years back, and I had two of them, a 6 millimeter and a 2 millimeter. Passed them both, no pain meds. That gives you an indication of how high my pain tolerance is. It takes a lot for for it to even register. I like to make fun of these kids around here. It's like if I gave you the level of pain that I'm in all the time that I don't even notice, if I just gave it to you now, you'd just die. Damn it. It went out. Son of a bitch. Well, Ash, I hope you get over whatever is ailing you. Uh, get your butt back in the gym. Don't be a lazy turd. Um, got to do your got to do your echelon post. That's why I figured you hadn't been because I didn't see that. I'm trying to start this. This is my thing that I want to start. I want to. I want the entire world drinking echelons and going to the gym and making posts about it with the hashtag We Go Gym. You know why? Because. So, anybody out there drinks echelon, take a picture if you can, either in the gym or on the way to the gym or whatever. Put it up on X or whatever social media. Hashtag it. We go gym. Yes, like a damn Neanderthal. Pulled your back, and as soon as it started feeling better, you got sick. Man, you know what they say? Any exercise is a back exercise if you do it wrong enough. Have I ever thought have I ever thought about doing a fitness challenge with my followers? There's a lot of people that do those. And I'm I'm not well, you know what? That's not a bad idea. It's very kind of like difficult to measure that. Echelon does it. I know that the unsub guys did one. Man, that was a crazy one. They took. I don't know if they. I'm sure they announced a winner. I didn't pay much attention to it, but they had people. They had people in the Pepperbox Discord. They had people in Reddit. I mean, they had places all over that people were submitting these results. I know Echelon does them. They had one, and they were doing it just by pure, like who can lift the most weight. So I think they had a bench PR and squat PR, and they had um, civilian, first responder, and military. I think they had those three categories, and they would whoever did the highest um, bench press, flat bench, barbell bench, and the highest traditional squat. Those people in each of those categories won. I don't know. I guess it was a case of Eshi. But I didn't enter that. My bench PR is not that impressive. I mean, I can do 315. As a matter of fact, I put video of it up. It's a little bit, it's a touch old. Um, I, I I transferred to a different place, and I fell out of the gym. I was going every single day for years and years and years, and I mean, I can show you this. Let me see if I can find this. This is uh this is one of those things that not too many people have seen. See if I can throw this over in the browser. Yeah. So I was giving a tour, and this is what I looked like in what was that, 2020? When was this? December 9th of 2020. Yep, that was me. So I started going to the gym not long after that, and at my best, I looked. Oh, it won't do that. What I do? Let's try this again. Oh, it's stupid. All right, hold on. Let's now for something delete completely different. Why are you being such a pain in my ass? Stupid thing. Sharing pictures and not doing this from my photos. All right, there we go. Yeah. So this was me in 23 before I moved. So significant difference between that guy and the previous guy. So yeah, um, I I need to get back. I'm not doing as well as I ought to. I think. Oh no. So Jay, you said saw the unsub guys did one and Echelon does it, but I think it'd be good for morale. Maybe top prize could be like a free shirt or something. Nothing big. You know what? I'll give that some thought. I mean, the biggest part of dealing with that is going to be um, how to judge who wins, right? Because I mean, that's it's really kind of subjective unless you do. I mean, because if you do, let's say you do like a PR or a PB or whatever you want to call it for whatever. Um, somebody who's there was a whole about a bunch of hubbub about the Pete Hegseth doing 315, right? And I'd guess that guy's somewhere around 180 pounds. Just a pure absolute guess. And a 180-pound man doing 315 is significantly different than say somebody my size because I'm around 260. So I outweigh the guy by 80 pounds, and yeah, that's a big difference between. Oh, I don't know. I mean, at that last picture there, I was about 250 pounds. I mean, I'm telling you right there, I was 250 pounds. Yeah, I was a little bit chubby, but there was a lot of muscle going on there, right? And so, yeah, it's a big difference. So how do you judge something along those lines, right? It's like I really don't know. Um, it's a difficult thing to do um, where you don't end up like alienating somebody or whatever. So, but yeah, might have to do something. We'd have to do it in a way that was semi-private. Yeah, I mean, like we'd have to use my Discord or something, maybe do something along those lines. That's what the Echelon guys did. I don't want to have to be tracking this shit all over the internet. I really don't. And it also doesn't need to be one of those things that's going to go on for forever and ever and ever. So, but yeah, I will give it. I'll give it some thought. It's not a bad idea. Um, it's just difficult to gauge, right? So I've actually got yeah. Let's see here. Where did my finder go? I've got a more recent one. So this isn't the. You can see. Zoom this in. Oh Lord, what I do? Yeah. So I'm a little fatter now, but yeah, this is me now. I'm a little chunkier. I'm still pretty beefy, but and I don't skip leg day. But yeah, I'm not quite as cut as I was back in back a couple 2 or 3 years ago, or back in 23. So, but it's all right. Better to do something than nothing, right? But I'll give that a thought. I will. We'll see. If you have any ideas on how to judge something like that, I'd be happy to hear them. Um, on a completely unrelated and different note, um, I showed this occasionally. Um, we're at 2,247 hours out of the 3,000 needed to uh, to get monetized on Forced Valor, the Forced Valor radio. So close, but yet so far away. I don't. getting. I know one thing. You got to. YouTube is very very weird about. So they're not like, hey, you just go and like watch the playlist, right? That doesn't really work. But anybody wants to help me out with that, give all the videos a watch, put them on, and just let them play in the background or something. It's not that I think I'm going to make any money out of it. It's just I'm a goals guy. I'm goals driven, and I can't stand the fact that I haven't that stupid bar isn't filled up all the way. It's driving me absolutely nuts. And I actually don't know if you can lose it once you get it. I mean, if you get up to 3,000 and then it drops down, does that go away? I don't know. But I will tell you. So I started making videos. I've talked about this once, but you know what? It's not the end. I've got 55. Not all of them are published though. The very first video I published, um, I can show you this. It was right here. It all began with a spoon, and I published that June 3rd of 2025. So it is feasible um, that I could reach that. The big difference is that if you watch the views, there's that one. That one's a fluke. That's just that one that went nuts. But if you watch the views, every now and then you'll get one that's got a couple of thousand, but or a little over 1,000. But the ones that yeah the this one that I just published yesterday has got an 82. You got 174. JD Delays has been up for almost 2 weeks now. It's got 258. So I mean, every now and then you'll see one, and I don't know why the thumbnails aren't loading, but this one got about 1,000. But the views aren't the only thing. It's like if people start watching it and then they swipe away or they go away from it and they don't actually watch the whole thing, you you have to get a ton of views of like a minute or two for it to get to amount to anything. So I am making minor changes. That's the reason I used to run way further ahead on my videos. I think at one time I had like 6 of them in the pipeline. Um, and but I started dedicating a lot more time to trying to figure out what people actually want versus just throwing content out there and hoping something sticks. I mean, so uh, I keep about 1 to 2 in the pipeline. So one of them got published yesterday, about 26 hours ago or 25 hours ago, somewhere around in there. Well, 25. Um, so that one got published, episode 50, um, with 82 views. Thank you. I appreciate you taking your time out of your time there, Jake, to watch this stuff. It's great. I will tell you though that YouTube knows if you're doing something like if I thought that just setting up a computer watching that would be, it has to be a real person. They know, like, you can't just set up a fake account and just have something watch it. They know that's not a real person because people don't watch YouTube. It's just one creator and it's just one playlist, and that's all there is to it. They don't do it. They interact. They watch other things. You can see uh, they use AI for this stuff now for the recommendations and everything. And what they're doing is that the people who get the content recommended to them are people who watch Unsub or they watch JD Delay or any of these other creators that are kind of sort of loosely um, related. There's unsubscribed videos that have my videos come up uh, in the recommended videos list um, because people come there from that. So I see that in my analytics, and but honestly, also I'm not I don't get too disappointed in that. Last week's did 174. It's been a full week. Um, the Here's the deal: the reactions I get from the people who watch my stuff are it's really positive. Um, I've gotten 41 likes on last week's video, right? 100%, 100%. So no. So the thing is, Ash, it doesn't matter if you do. If you put the playlist on repeat, that's okay. As long as your account is doing other things too, and not just that. You can't leave it on repeat for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and expect it to actually count it. You Because nobody watches YouTube like that, right? I mean, about the only thing you can expect. Sometimes people will put on a music playlist and they'll let that play while they're doing other things so they can listen to music. That's a thing that people I don't agree with it because you're pulling if you're back in the old days if you're paying for all your bandwidth, um, that was a bigger deal. Nowadays it doesn't matter. Everybody's got high speed internet, and I think they know when you're playing something in the background, and so they allow it to play, and they just don't send you all the video. But you can do that because your account does other things. You're watching unsub. You're watching whatever. You know, I'm just saying, don't create a special account. Just oh no, they do that. Are you watching thing? So yeah, you tried something would happen, it would stop. They'll also do this. So the Netflix "Are you still watching" thing. That's another thing they do because it saves them money. If somebody's just playing something and they're not actually paying attention to it, they'll pop up a little pop up on your window right there, and you got to hit it to say yes, I'm still paying attention to this because they don't want people sucking up the bandwidth for no reason whatsoever. And people do this thing to cheat the system and to try and get money, especially people who are already monetized have an incentive to cheat, right? Because it's money. I'm not monetized, and I'm not doing that because it doesn't count, right? Uh, I've I figured that stuff out the hard way. If you ever get in a situation where you're screwing around trying to cheat the system and they catch you doing it, you're never going to get monetized ever. I had a long time ago, God, it's been decades. Well, at least one. I had an AdSense account and I had a website and stuff, and they marked me as clicking my own ads to get paid for it. And man, I don't know what finally cleared that stuff because I use that account to do some of the stuff in here, and they finally cleared me from that crap. But you ever get marked as somebody who's trying to game the system? You'll you'll be blackballed for forever for a lot longer than what you would normally think would be okay to. And I don't know. I forgot that I even had that happen and applied for an account for my website for forcedvalor.com, and they were like, "Oh yeah, go ahead." I guess it had been long enough. I don't know, but I don't. I'm very very careful. You'll see that I took the ad blockers off because it was causing problems with my browser. But you see the ads pop up. I hardly ever go to my public facing website because I don't want to get screwed up. So I only do that when I'm on here because I don't think that I need to show the back end of my website to the entire world. It's not that I think you'll see anything that's gonna mean anything. It's just there's just a whole bunch of crap in the pipeline. Those stories I do stack those up because I get a little bit of downtime and I'll create, three, four, or five of those stories. And because sometimes things just don't want to work out like you want them to, and they start getting repetitive. And so you got to kind of mix things up. But yeah, I don't know. I appreciate you guys doing that, uh, helping me out with that. It's I'm still figuring this stuff out. It's different. And I have a lot of fun doing that. I do. I have a lot of fun trying to figure out how this stuff works. And it's yeah. What the holy hell? What the hell is what the hell is what? Okay, look, Finn. Finn posted this. You guys know Finn. It's he does a bunch of filming and editing for the Unsub guys. Apparently, this is some sort of stand. And at first glance, it looked like I thought it was a face sucker from Aliens, but it's not. I don't know if that's supposed to be a shrimp or a lobster or what. I don't know, but it's creepy. I don't know. That's Finn has a new X account. Um, here, I'll just show you. It's your boy Finn. Um, but yeah, he says his girl spent $25 plus shipping on a ceramic stand thingy it could hold a cake. Oh, is that actually a real crustacean? I thought that that was part of the stand. Okay, all right. Well, that's different. Go give Finn a follow. He started that. I think he wasn't he on Kinda? Yeah, he is special. He's definitely special. Um, I think he was on. I'm so far behind. I don't know. He's got 1,286 followers now, which is something considering the fact that but I mean, look who he's look, look who he's hanging around all the time. I mean, really, if he really wanted to be a social media guy, uh, he could be. Um, I mean, no, I haven't watched it yet, and I've heard it's great. And I keep saying this over and over again. I don't have a whole lot of time to watch um, episodes of stuff. I I I get little bite-sized pieces. I spend most of my time watching Kentucky Ballistics, and I watch a lot of Rich's stuff, Angry Cops, because he puts they like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Is about all I can dedicate in a given night to some of the stuff. I'll do the streaming thing. I'll sit out here for a couple hours if people are paying attention and sit here and ramble, because I know I'm going to get shorts out of it, and those get a little bit of playtime. People may not watch it now, but I'm going to throw this into AI and let it chop it up into something that might be worth watching. You never know. Every now and then I say something stupid and it comes off as funny. Oh, but yeah, I I think I should watch that. I do know that he gets to be around some giants in the industry, and I think spending time around people who have made it would be really cool. To just because they've all said it, they're very good about like sharing the things that they've learned, and I'm a big fan of learning from the mistakes of others. Um, That's that's what you call wisdom right there. Is when you can learn from the mistakes other people make without having to do it. He'd do a lot for a grilled cheese. See, now you've got something that I'm gonna have. Now I'm gonna have to watch it because I got to figure out what the hell that's. I think I know what that means, but I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. It does remind me. I got to hit my boy Phil up. What helps? Oh, yeah, he said something the 22nd. Golly, Phil. Phil's wanting to do a space, and I think that would be fun. So I think I'm gonna try to see if I can get that going. This next week's gonna be a travel week for me, and he probably is making them at night. Probably making. Well, I don't know that he's making them. I think he's just eating them. They're taking them as payment. I'm gonna have to give up. This thing is about. You guys have seen my little corn on the cob holder nubber. I think that this cigar. Oh man, the one I was smoking last night while I was watching Pole Barn Garage, which is another one of those ones that I can actually stop in the middle of a video and come back to it later. That's my problem. Is if I start an episode of um, kind of consensual or um, unsubscribe or underwhelming or any of those ones, it's like I can't stop it and come back to it later. So I can't watch an hour of it and then come back and watch the rest of it the next day. I want to sit and watch the whole damn thing. And back before I was really, so I've started doing this. I'm doing now. I'm making shorts from these. I'm doing my regular website. I'm doing the videos for the website, and then I have to I travel about a week out of every month. It's just not a lot of time to work on the stuff and watch videos too. So I have to choose between doing my own stuff and learning this versus watching somebody else's content. And so I'm making a judgment call. I I I find this a little bit more fulfilling. I like watching those guys. I find it very interesting. And but summertime is spring, summer, fall. Those are the times when I really don't have a lot of time to just goof off and watch videos. In the winter, I mean, between the like from January till like spring hits, that's the time when I spend the most time watching stuff because there's just hunting season's over, nothing is going on. It's too damn cold and gross to be outside. So I spend a lot more time sitting in here just goofing off, watching videos. That's what I do. And so, but I get way behind. I'll binge watch uh, videos when I get an opportunity. But I just haven't had that many. Now I have to decide if I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to light up another cigar. I know I'm going to be out here. I'm going to be out here doing something tomorrow night for sure. There'll be there'll be bourbon. There will be cigars. I don't know what else. Last weekend I had an event that I planned to get together and on Saturday, and I was sitting out here goofing off, and my wife angrily texted me that she'd been working to get the house cleaned up and that I hadn't done my part, so I had to call everything quits abruptly and go in the house. Um, but yeah. I don't have that going on this weekend, so hopefully maybe I'll be able to spend a little bit of time. But I'm probably going to call it and go and spend time. I've been with her all day today, so it's not really all that big of a deal. But I'm about to be vacant from the household for a week, so I'm probably going to go spend a little bit of time with her and chill out and at least a halfway decent husband for the rest of the day. Um, I want to try to keep doing this. I'm not certain that Thursday is not a bad night, but I want to figure out something I can do that's a little bit more interactive. That's the thing that the lives are a touch more interactive than me just making a video and throwing it out there. So um, I do want to continue to do that. My go-to bourbon cigar combo. Oh Lord, you're gonna get me started talking about stuff that I won't be able to shut up about for a while. All right, so I can tell you the go-to, um, my every day is for cigars is a Drew Estates factory smoke. They're not expensive. I think they're like you can get 20. I think it's 25 of them for like $30. So they're a couple bucks a piece, right? They have a good flavor to them. They don't cost a lot, right? I shop a lot from Cigars International, and so um, I get discounts for being a repeat customer and everything. So that's that. Bourbon, I drink a lot of Bullet. Now you can see I've got looking behind me, I've got uh, Hard Truth over here, which is an Indiana bourbon. I don't actually drink that a lot. It's kind of expensive and it's hard to find. Um, and then on this side, I've got a bottle of Basil Hayden. Their bourbon is actually really, really good. And then in the middle, there's some Texas. So Texas is actually is pretty decent. It's a little bit difficult to grab around here. It's not so hard around bigger cities to find it. When I do find it, I grab it up. I don't drink it a lot because it's difficult. You can get Basil Hayden like all day, every day. It's not as ubiquitous as like Bullet. I'm not a huge fan of Buffalo Trace. Um, it's nothing against them in particular. I mean, there are plenty of that distillery produces a lot of really good bourbons. I just don't really care for Buffalo Trace. I don't like the flavor of it. That's just my personal preference. So um, I drank a lot of Blade and Bow for a long time. I don't have a problem. This is so you get a key. Every single one of their bottles has a key hanging off of it. And they have if you they are all numbered, and if you collect all five of the numbered keys, and they're all different, they're numbered, um, and you send them a picture, they'll put you in their five key club, and they will give you an engraved. And I won't show you the engraved side because I don't want to dox myself, but in a little mint julep, they'll engrave your name on a mint julep cup and send that to you. And you don't even have to pay shipping. You just got to drink the bourbon and then send them a picture of all five keys. This is this is my wad of keys that I've got from drinking Blade and Bow. If that gives you an indication of how much of that bourbon I've had. I kind of burned myself out on it trying to get into the five key club. I haven't had it a lot. I've got a bottle over here in my collection, but I honestly mostly Bullet. Bullet bourbon is like it's my all-time favorite. It's not high proof stuff, so you can drink more of it and not just get out of hand. I sat and had a glass of it while we were doing this over the last hour and 45 minutes. And one glass, you and this I said one glass. This was probably a 4-ounce glass, so that's four shots. but in nothing. So it's not one of those things you're gonna have to worry about too much. It's an 80 proof bourbon, whatever. So I don't I don't normally get into the heavy bourbon. I've got I've got a bottle of Blanton's, which is the whole, the John Wick, I think, drinks Blanton's in the movies. It's a good bourbon. It's made I'm pretty sure I'm going to say this and it's probably going to be wrong, but it's made at the same place that Buffalo Trace is made, among other. Eagle Rare's made there. Um, Man, there's a bunch. Michter's is another one. Oh, for the love of Christ. JD Delay has hopped into my into my chat. Double salute to you, sir. Oh, but yeah. Um, but yeah, there's that's I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. Um, did you enjoy your episode, JD? Hope you actually watched the whole damn thing, especially the Are You French? I knew I had to throw that one in there. I worked that one out. If you guys haven't watched that, you got to at least watch that section. I had the most fun making that particular part. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really, really do. I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed it. I try pretty hard on trying to make those things funny. Sometimes they're a little long-winded, but yeah, man, I just almost missed you. I was about to wrap things up. Um, but yeah, I can talk about bourbon all damn day, and it's oh Lord, you're gonna blind react to it on a live in 20 minutes. Well, I'm definitely gonna tune into that because that's gonna be fun to watch. So anybody who's watching this, go over and hop over and watch JD's. You're gonna do that on YouTube, right? And I don't know how long it takes for this damn thing. The delay on the, no pun intended, but the delay on these chats. You never know how long it's gonna take for it to get out. You know, I have had more fun sitting and having cigars and stuff. There's a couple of places I go. So Nashville, I don't know how close you guys are, but Nashville, there's a cigar lounge called Smoker's Abbey that I will frequent when I'm in town there. I'm not there enough for them. Let's, yeah, I'm not in town for that enough to be a regular there, but I've been through there a few times. I'll actually be rolling through Nashville I'll be there for an hour or two on Monday. Um, I'm actually going to be on my way to Decatur, Alabama. And then Charlotte, there's a place called Vintage that I go and I hang out when I'm in town there. So, but yeah, um, I I don't normally have an opportunity to like just roll through a town. I don't normally drive, but I'm close enough to Decatur that I have to drive it. It's too close to fly. It takes twice as much time to fly it, taking off out of Memphis, and there's no direct flights to Birmingham or to Huntsville, so it's easier to just drive it. It's not that far. But I love Nashville. I don't get an opportunity to go through there as often as I should, but yeah, that's cool. 20 minutes. So I'm gonna have to guess it's gonna be about 8 o'clock Central. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that's gonna be cool. Well, maybe JD doing a live react to that'll get us over the hump on that. You think, Ash? Oh, mercy. Yeah, JD's watching this from over at YouTube, so that's if you guys can't see what he's saying, he's in YouTube, and y'all, the rest of you guys are over on X. So, but yeah, I think I'm probably gonna wrap it up at that and go over, have an opportunity to take a little break, and then go over and watch JD live react to it. This is gonna be fun. So everybody, anybody who's watching here, make sure and go over there and take a look at that. And I appreciate y'all. So peace.